Hip mobility can be a limiting factor for a lot of athletes in jiu-jitsu. We live in the modern world, we sit down all the time. We tend to have tight hip flexors and we tend not to have good hip rotation. That tends to materialize as some type of back pain. When we are trying to improve our jiu-jitsu game, we need to work on the rotation of our hips. We can take that and break it down into a bunch of different pieces. This exercise is part of a bigger series of exercises where we are loading that shin box. Every time we move a weight in that position, it changes our center of mass, and it is a loaded stretch. Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica here with
Will Saffron from Order in Progress.
And today we're talking about a loaded hip mobility exercise which helps us integrate our spine, our shoulder movement with our hip movement. This exercise is a shin box position, which you use in jiu-jitsu, and we are adding a heavy club shield cast to it. When we add a heavy club to this movement, the length of the lever lets us know if we are in the correct spot. It's helping us work on our structure. We are trying to integrate our structure, our breathing, and our movement so that we can endure better during rolling.
The shin box is a phenomenal move for jiu-jitsu. It's an actual movement that we use to perform techniques on the mat, and it also improves hip mobility. When you combine it with the shield cast, you just take the benefits to a new level.
To get down, step back with one leg, put your knee on the ground, reach down with one hand, touch the ground, sit through with your hip until you're seated on your tailbone. We are now gonna point two knees towards the sky, legs equally bent. We're gonna drop both knees one direction. The important part here is that the toes of our lead foot line up with the knee of our rear leg. We're gonna call this side lead leg. We're gonna call this side rear leg. Reach out with your right hand, palm towards the sky, left hand, thumb points down. Flip the club over to get to position. That is less important with a lightweight, but as the weight gets heavier, how you pick it up matters. We're gonna take our top hand, the hand closest to the top of the club, and we're gonna go past our opposite ear. We're gonna go in a loop all the way around our head. Every time we catch, the weight is coming down. We are doing a loaded stretch for that hip. When we start the movement, we move the low hand shoulder towards the tip of the club. That sets up the rotation of our spine so that we make sure we're rotating the right way. Top hand goes past opposite ear and come back to order position each time. Top hand goes past opposite ear each time. Oftentimes it helps people to see it on both sides, so we're gonna set up for the other side. Drive your left leg outwards and down. The important thing, once again, is that the toes of our lead leg line up with the knee of the rear leg. The goal is to get both hips sitting down. This side hip is the hard hip to try to get down. So he's going to try to rotate that back, verticalize his spine, and now level your shoulders up. Good. Reach out, left hand, palm faces towards the sky, right hand, thumb points down, bring the club up. Now we are going to rotate the other direction. Top hand goes past opposite ear. Rotate that bottom hand shoulder towards the club. Rotate the body, hand goes past ear, rotate the body, hand goes past ear, catching an order position each time. The important part with our order position is this is a 90-degree angle. If our hands are too high, we're gonna have a hard time holding on to the club as the club gets heavier. And if our hands are too low, it's gonna run into our legs. A good order position is key to going up in weight. How you put down the club is just as important as how you pick up the club. The same way it is important how you pick up a barbell and how you put down a barbell.
If you've been doing jiu-jitsu, you know how important hip mobility is. Jiu-jitsu is all hips and grips. And if you lack internal rotation of your hip, not only will your performance suffer, meaning that you're not going to move as well as you could, you're also setting yourself up for potential injury. Nowadays, with the leg lock game, it's all about attacking the legs. And if you're lacking that hip internal rotation, you're going to be tapping quicker to those types of attacks. The shin box allows you to mobilize your hips and develop that hip mobility, that internal rotation that you need. When you add the club, you're taking the benefits even further because you're adding a load to it. You're accessing deeper ranges of motion. When you add the shield cast on top of that, now you're making it a total body exercise. You're including the shoulders, the thoracic spine, and that is what jiu-jitsu is. It's total body. You're getting the spine, the hips, everything to work together for effective jiu-jitsu.
When you start this exercise, you'll notice one of three things. Either one hip doesn't want to go down on one side, you won't be able to extend your spine to get the club behind you, or your shoulder doesn't want to go that far. Shield cast should be practiced no matter what type of wrestling you do. You need to practice it standing, where you use heavier weights and then you use lighter weights in these position-specific drills.
If you want to get better at jiu-jitsu, you have to mobilize those hips, and there's no better way to do it than using the club.